it's me, Nina, and today I have my September wrap-up for you, and I'm super excited. In the month of September, I read 4 graphic novels and 8 normal novels. So I'm super excited to share them with you, so let's just get into it. So the 4 graphic novels I have to show you are the first 4 novels in the Lumberjanes series. I was actually very excited to receive these because I don't own them and my library doesn't have them, and I've been wanting to read this series. And one of the tweens in my library program mentioned this series, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I really wanted to read that. I haven't read it yet. And she offered me these and she let me borrow them for this week. So I flew through them. This deals with kind of like Girl Scouts, but it's like called the Lumberjanes, and they're at this camp and a bunch of weird crap happens. And it's a friendly tween novel. Like, it doesn't swear, it uses other words like what the junk instead of, other things. So it's like, I really appreciated that in the novel, that it's friendly to younger ages. And the covers were really fun. The one thing that confused me is a lot of, okay, this is gonna sound rude, but some of the girls in this looked like boys, and I was kind of confused at the beginning because I wasn't sure that they were all girls or not. But they are all girls. And some of the art changes within the book, which I don't know. The original art's pretty cool, but then in the back they kind of give you like different art forms of the girls, and I preferred some of these versus what they chose. Anyway, a bunch of weird stuff happens, and there's a bunch of like mythical creatures and mysteries that they have to find out, but like as long as they're stay together and friendship to the max, everything's okay. So I really appreciated that message, like friendship to the max. I know that sounds like childish, but it was actually really fun to read such good friendships. And it also promotes lesbian relationship within the story, so that was fun to read. So yeah. I have Art Boss by Kayla Kagan. This was an arc that I received. It's now October 2018, so it should be in sale soon, if not by the time I get this video up. But I received this as an arc, and to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it. It is about this college student who moves to New York and becomes kind of an artist hired by a huge major artist in the industry. So she has to like create pieces for him, but he's kind of an asshole, and she's just trying to find herself. And I don't know, if you are really into art, this might be your book, but I'm not an artist, and I don't really look at art with the type of critique that she does, I guess. So it wasn't really my cup of tea. I did enjoy this font though. So Art Boss is like, you can see it's like made with paint. So that was pretty cool, but the plot was boring to me. And I didn't like the writing. Throughout the book, they switch back and forth with names. There's a guy named Silas in there, and sometimes they call him Silas, other times they call him Cy. And it's like, with every sentence they change it. And it's like, wish they would have stuck to one. And they continuously use abbreviations, so like TTYL, talk to you later. They'll use TTYL or LOL instead. That was really irritating to me because it's not like these are text messages. They're literally talking to each other, and they kept writing like LOL. So, Next, I had Lady Renegades by Rachel Hawkins. This is the 3rd and final book, I believe, in the Rebel Belle series. So I don't want to spoil anything too much for the series, but there's like superpowers, and there is a paladin which protects the Oracle, but the Oracle is kind of going crazy. So this book kind of goes on a road trip with the paladin to save the Oracle. I pretty much enjoyed this book. A lot of people gave it bad reviews because they feel like the first book was amazing and then it kind of went downhill. I kind of agree with that, but I enjoyed the series as a whole. I don't think this was a bad book. I really enjoyed the book. It just wasn't as good as the first one, but I still loved it. So then we have Blindsided by Priscilla Cummings. This is a very short book, and it was a really good book. This deals with a girl who is losing her vision. She's a young girl, and she used to be able to see, but as time went on, like, she's having vision problems, and now she is going blind, and she's kind of in denial about this, and she is sent to a school for the blind to help her, you know, come to terms with this and learn Braille and learn how to use a walking stick and find her way around without her vision. And this is very hard for her to accept. She doesn't feel like she is losing her vision. She doesn't want to accept that, and she doesn't want to be like these other kids. And it was really a roller coaster of emotions, and it really showed you the inside. I mean, I can't speak to the representation because I am not blind and I don't know anyone who is blind, but I feel that, like, it showed me a lot that I didn't know. So I would recommend this, and I really liked it. Then I have Please Don't Tell by Laura Timms. The only thing I really like about this was the cover. I was very bored with this book. It deals with two twin sisters, pretty much the opposites of each other, but they're always like best friends. Recently they've been separating, and one of them was assaulted by a boy, and he recently died. And one of the twins believes that she murdered him, but she doesn't know because she was drunk. She's not sure. And so she's being blackmailed by someone. And they're like, if you don't do this, then I'm going to tell the police that you murdered him. So she is very scared that this person might tell the police, and she's worried that she actually did murder someone. And so she goes on this roller coaster of trying to find out who it is and, you know, deciding if she should do these things or she should just, like, call the bluff. And I don't know. I just wasn't really into it. I feel like the mystery could have been portrayed better. I feel like a lot of the times the twins sounded the same because you get both perspectives in this book, and I had to keep flipping back and be like, oh, who am I reading from? Because they both kind of sounded the same. You didn't realize, it wasn't confirmed what exactly happened during the assault on the twin until like halfway through the book. You can kind of guess that it is a certain thing, but you're not confirmed for a long time that that really happens, and so that was boring, and I don't know, I just didn't really enjoy this. Moving on to a book that I really did enjoy was Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls by Lynn Weingarten. I love this cover. This had a lot of bad reviews that I was reading, but I personally really liked it. But yeah, anyway, this deals with two best friends, and their relationship's kind of like more than best friends, but like it's not like a flirty relationship. It's very emphasized in the book that this is like more than just best friends. Like they're best friends to the core kind of thing. They've separated because something happens with June's boyfriend and her best friend. And then Delia, the best friend in this novel, commits suicide. And June, the other best friend, believes that she could be murdered, so we kind of go on the hunt for this person, and there comes some twists and turns, and it was really crazy to me. I really loved this mystery, loved the book. There were so many confusing parts, which kind of added to the story to me, and yeah, I really loved it. I don't want to spoil anything. I do have a book talk on this if you're interested and have read this. The book talk has lots of spoilers, so, and yeah, let's move on. Then we have White Lines by Jennifer Banish. This bored me. I didn't really feel there was like any plot at all. This deals with a girl whose mother is abusive towards her, and her father doesn't really care. They're divorced, and she kind of lives on her own. She is a club promoter. She does drugs, she drinks, and she kind of goes in with the wrong crowd. And her best friend's trying to pull her away from that, and she's like, nah, I'm gonna do it. There was really nothing to this. I mean, there's a resolution at the end, and that's like it. But I was bored. I was kind of just going through her life. I really felt like more emphasis could have been put on the drug use and the abuse. I wish it would have been like elaborated more and told us more of that story. I did appreciate that in this novel it was the mother who was abusive, because a lot of times you'll really only hear the dad being abusive, so it was nice to see that representation of the mom actually being the abusive one. Other than that, I just didn't really care for this novel. Then we have Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. I really wanted to read this just because the author had my name. No one is ever named Nina. Like, anyway, I thought this cover was really beautiful. I read The Disenchantments by her and I didn't enjoy it, so I was hesitant about this one, but I really enjoyed this one. This deals with a girl who works on movie sets. She designs all the movie sets. And she finds this letter from a deceased movie star, and it's kind of like addressing his past love and his granddaughter and his daughter. And so she goes on the hunt for who this letter belongs to, and she finds this girl, and they like discover a lot about each other. And I don't know, if you're into movie design and stuff like that, this is a really good novel for that. Even if you're not, I don't do that stuff. That's not my passion. I don't really care about movie sets and stuff like that. But I still really enjoyed being able to read about that. So I don't know. I really enjoyed this book, and that's all I have to say about it. Last book I have to talk about is The Gallery of Unfinished Girls by Lauren Karks. I don't know. This cover is kind of interesting. The book sucked. It deals with a girl who kind of finds this apartment that's kind of like magical, and she creates art there. This is another art book. I don't know why there was a theme in here. Like several of my books dealt with like art forms and stuff like that. I was just really bored. Art's not really my thing, so this bored me a lot. There's a lot of detail and emphasis put on the art. I have nothing else to say about this. I just didn't like it, and that's it. That is all I have for you today. Leave your feedback down below because I love reading your comments and hearing what you have to say. If you've read any of these books, tell me what you thought of them. And yes, have a wonderful day. Bye!